Reopening borders to one another, European nations are now witnessing some fresh curbs on travel. Europe is experiencing a rise in the coronavirus infections after it decided to reopen borders. Britain and German authorities have expressed concerns that parts of Europe could experience a second wave of COVID-19 outbreak. So first, let's take a look at Spain. The country is, of course, the worst affected in the world, with more than 332,000 COVID-19 cases. On Saturday, Britain had announced its decision to enforce a 14-day quarantine on travellers from Spain. And this came as a shock since the country's tourism sector is already struggling. Now, the Spanish Prime Minister called United Kingdom's decision to change the rules for Spain as completely unjust. 2 days later, Germany had also urged its nationals to avoid non-essential travel to 3 regions of Spain which have been the worst affected. The tourism industry makes up to 12% of Spain's GDP. 11% of jobs in Spain are in the tourism sector. Now, the influx of tourists was expected to bring a much-needed economic boost in regions where unemployment rate is rising. Meanwhile, Norway has also announced quarantine for those who come in from Spain. Now, the European Union is accepting travellers from Australia, Canada, Georgia, Japan, Morocco, New Zealand, Rwanda, South Korea, Thailand, Tunisia and Uruguay. Now, European airline and airport executives have urged the Canadian government to allow a safe restoration of travel. In a letter, top executives of nearly about a dozen European airplanes and airports have warned that since many EU countries require reciprocity to re-establish access, Canada's continued entry restrictions and quarantine requirements are becoming extremely problematic.